Is happening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of GKDR. I am your host for this episode of Death Ratio, episode 67 to be exact. We are recording on Tuesday, June 17th, and I am your host, Garrick B. Eaton. I'm joined, as always, by my partner in crime, one of my very bestest friends, Devin Stanford, aka Brevin the Dude.
What up?
Devin, deja vu, but how are you?
Tired here, glowing. It is Tuesday.
Sun kissed, if you will.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I'm chilling, man. Doing lots of music things. I built two new magic decks for all you magic nerds out there. I built a custom cloud deck
As you do. As
with
you do.
with a not the commander cloud. I built it with Planet's Champion.
The
And
cloud we
then
have at home.
dude, it's actually busted. I'm just gonna quick explainer. During your turn, as long as cloud is equipped, it has double strike and indestructible.
Wow.
So I saw that and I was like, yeah, that's gonna be a commander. And then and just to keep the theme going, I also built a Sephiroth deck too, which is Sephiroth. Small little thing I gotta tell you. I went into a random lobby on Spell Table, which is where people play paper magic. I know I've told you about this before. I was playing my Sephiroth deck, and I'm just playing with random people, and I set up my microphone to be my wavelink stream. So when I got to the point where I casted Sephiroth, I purposely started playing One Winged Angel through the
Oh my
microphone,
god.
and everybody was like, "Yo, shit, what the?" Like it was
Your fucking mic just clipped so bad.
like everybody was like, "The immersion, what the hell?" And it was so funny. Like people got a kick out of it. So I think like I might actually start streaming myself play now and do shit like that and just
Good.
like play like sounds and stuff when I do things for people, because yeah, it'll be kind of
I
fun.
mean, why
But
not?
anyways,
Just
we're
have
here
fun
to
with it.
do a show.
We need to do a show. Not talk about Devin's crippling magic addiction. We are, however,
Dude, you should
talking
see
about
Dev's
Mind's Eye
crap.
is not in the forefront of anybody's eyes right now. No, no. The Prince of Persia remake is still possibly, probably, definitely happening, Ubisoft says. And Marathon, it's come to an end quite before it ever even got to live. But hey, we're also talking about much, much more, because this is Good Kraken's Death Ratio, where we're slashing through the podcast space to be your source for all the nerdy video game news, reviews, and discussions you want to hear each and every week. If you want to get ahead of the curve, though, you can head on over to our, I almost said Discord, our Patreon at patreon.com/Good Kraken Pods, where you can submit questions and topics to the shows, get exclusive content, and have early access to the episodes before they go live on podcast and video services, wherever you like to watch or listen. You can also help us level up our game by joining the GK community on our Discord channel by clicking the link in our description below, then subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a review there. Devin, real quick, we
Yeah,
have just a few, not many, just a few critical hits.
just a few little critical hits. I should probably play the noise. I wasn't ready for that.
I was like, come on, man, you know that's the next segment. You
Dude,
know it's
I'm
coming up.
sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
know it happens
I'm trying to
immediate.
set something up. I'm trying to set something up for you, okay? I'm thinking about you on the go right now, all right? All right.
Yeah, well, multitask. I don't know. Yeah, just one more for good measure. Anyways, guys, as always, please check out goodkraken.com, where you can see all of our merchandise and the latest episodes for all of our other wonderful content. Not quite as great as this content, but it's still pretty fucking great, including but not limited to the latest episode of 20,000 Films Under the Sea, where you can check out Ernell, DJ, and I doing a spoiler-free review of the live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon. You can also check out the latest episode of The Shipwreck Show, where we plan the GK wedding. Whose wedding? It's the GK wedding, and it's us, and we're getting married to the content. honestly, who we're getting married to is pretty irrelevant. We just really wanted to plan a wedding, so we did. Go check out what that looks like. It was a great conversation, and of course, you can check out our budding and fantastic D&D podcast, Songs of the Abyss, where episode 18 is now live. We had an amazing session where Xander, his character Moonwind, got to go Ultra Instinct in a surprise twist to absolutely everybody. And I won't say anything else there. You just got to go check that one out for yourself. It was a great time for all of us in combat and with roleplay. We had a really good time that episode.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, that episode was really fun. Everybody is doing great role play and getting into their characters very, very well. I was
I think I need to spend my key a little more liberally.
Yeah, I especially because you get it back on long rest, right?
Short rests.
Short rest, which we need to take those more often. Actually, we
more
need to start,
often. Yeah,
we need to.
It's
we
only
need
got
to
be 30 minutes.
Yeah, because that's only 30 minutes game time, not like actual 30 minutes.
Oh yeah,
in the episode, which because every time we take a short rest, I get my spell slots back.
Yeah, and that replenishes my key, and then I could be using because like the only reason I get hit is because I don't use my like dodge and shit. Because I have a key fueled dodge. But anyways, go check out. It's a really good session. I'm not gonna fucking I could literally spend all day talking about how I can improve my D&D character. But go check that shit out. In the meantime, though, Devin, please tell everybody at home what we have coming up in our next segment.
Absolutely. It is time to go to the line of sight.
Yep, we're just going to line up what video games are releasing for you in the next week. I did like that noise. Was that the Xbox sound?
Yep.
Nice. As always, this is coming from Game Informer. Thank God they are back. We are currently looking at the week of June 17th through the 23rd. And we are going to be telling you guys, giving you the release dates, platforms, and titles of some upcoming things that you may have forgotten about, or maybe may pique your interest. Starting off with June 17th, we have Date Everything coming out on PlayStation 5, Series XS, Switch, and PC. FBC Firebreak coming out on PlayStation 5, XS, and PC. I played that one a little bit already. I'm having a good time with it. Lost in Random, The Eternal Die on PlayStation 5, Series XS, Switch, and PC. Should also note that Lost in Random, Eternal Die, and Firebreak FBC are also available day one on Game Pass.
They put Crash Bandicoot 4 on here?
I can confirm those. Maximum Football available on PlayStation 5, Series XS, and PC. Nitro Gen Omega in early access on PC. Scum on PC. And Tron Catalyst on PlayStation 5, Series XS, Switch, and PC. And War Torn also launching in early access on PC. All of those, again, coming out June 17th, today, Tuesday, the day of the recording. So if you're listening to this on our not early access release time, all of those games I just mentioned are currently available on their listed platforms. Starting on June 18th, we have Battle Train on Switch and PC, Crown Gambit on PC and Mac, Marvel Content of Champions coming to PC. I'm pretty sure this is Rydao remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, long title, coming to PlayStation 5, Series XS, Switch, 2, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. Then Rydao starts the June 19th releases. I apologize. Continuing on with the rest of the games for June 19th, we have Rematch coming out on PlayStation 5, Series XS, and PC. That's also going to be available day one on Game Pass, but it's not launching with crossplay, I recently found out. I'm hoping that we get lucky and we get like Xbox PC, Xbox crossplay. Not sure on that one, but the devs have already said that is a priority. Top priority is implementing crossplay for Rematch, but it is unfortunately not launching with crossplay on Thursday the 19th. But so just so you're aware. but it is available day one on Game Pass. Then we have Robots at Midnight coming out on Series XS and PC. Star Overdrive coming out on PlayStation 5, Series XS and PC. And Through the Nightmares coming out on PlayStation 5, Series XS, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And then our one and only title releasing on June 23rd is Outrider Mako on PC.
You know, I've been thinking about it more, and you notice how like many of these games are coming out on Xbox and stuff now. You know,
A lot of them are. So many.
I think I'm gonna commit, and like we still need to see pricing, but I think I'm gonna commit and go for the Xbox Ally X.
Woo! You can be spending a pretty penny if the rumors are true.
I'm guessing 700 to 800 is how much it's going to be.
I'm thinking 8, but obviously, like that's all just speculation from us.
Yeah, obvious speculation is obvious, but like at the same time, I feel like Xbox is going to want this to be
I'm
easier
hoping
to get a hold of,
because Microsoft is partnering with Asus to make this product, that they can lower the price as a result.
If it's 600 on the dot or less, that's
easy sell.
Day one.
Easy sell.
I'm saying that right now because like my Xbox library and my Steam libraries are huge. It's also confirmed that you can use your Epic library and your GOG library on there as well.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking rad.
So
like, I have so many fucking free games on Epic.
Yeah, same. So like having that as a handheld machine is great. And also, side note, I forgot to mention this earlier. I've been playing my standard Switch a lot lately. Like a lot.
You did mention that. You mentioned that to me the other night that you started playing. What did you say you were playing again?
I'm playing Final Fantasy VIII right now, the remastered
That's what it was.
version.
Final Fantasy VIII. I was like, I can't remember what it was you were playing. I still need to pick up Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition for the Switch real bad.
I don't know if you remember, but back in the PS1, these big RPGs came on multiple discs, you know?
Oh, yeah. You get like 2 or 2. Fucking Red Dead Redemption is actually a 2-disc physical.
Final Fantasy VIII is a 4-disc.
Fuck.
4-disc game. I just beat the
goddamn
first
Diablo
disc.
2 shit, dude.
Yeah, I just beat the first disc technically. So I'm in the second disc right now. So I'm feeling really good about it. But yeah, let's continue on.
Continuing on. Yeah, that'll actually wrap up our line of sight, folks. That's what we have coming out coming in the next week. Again, brought to you by Game Informer. We're so glad that they're back. We're going to keep this train moving along the tracks, though, folks. And we are going to be heading to our next segment. Devin, what is that?
The next segment that we're going to be getting into is our news segment, where we cover worthy gaming news such as delays, seasonal game content, announcements, and industry announcements, known as the Meta Minute. Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah,
we only have one article to read because it's a fucking long one, but in a not so surprising turn of events.
Yeah. So I'll read this one off for us. Guys, Bungie has delayed Marathon indefinitely, which I feel like we've all seen that coming. This is coming straight from Paul Tassi over at Forbes. In a somewhat expected but rather dire announcement, Bungie has emerged from the shadows to confirm that its upcoming shooter Marathon has been delayed indefinitely. As in, we do not have a window as to when it's being released. Now pushed out of its former September 23rd, 2025 release date, here's an excerpt of what Bungie said in the announcement. Quote, "Thank you not only to your passionate feedback around the Marathon reveal and alpha playtests, but also for your patience while we took the time to listen closely and chart our next steps. Through every comment and real-time conversation on social media and Discord, your voice has been strong and clear. We've taken this to heart, and we know now we need more time to craft Marathon into the game that truly reflects your passion. After much discussion within our dev team, we've made the decision to delay the September 23rd release. End quote. The move was wildly anticipated in the wake of an underwhelming gameplay preview, leading to a mixed to bad reception for its closed alpha. On top of that, Bungie is currently auditing the entirety of Marathon for stolen art assets after an artist came forward to prove an alleged ex employee from the studio had previously taken her work, which ended up in the game itself. That artist is known as Anti Real. I just want to point that out because I do not see it in the article.
Yeah, the plagiarized artist in question.
Yep. And they were actually really heartbroken about this and was very vocal about it. Um, so yeah, everybody go look up Anti-Real, support them. They make great like futuristic, like cyberpunk, like steampunk artwork. It's really cool. It's really cool actually. Um, so there were many ways this current situation could have played out, but an open-ended delay is probably one of the worst outcomes. No, Marathon was never going to be canceled. It is way too late for that. And even with this somewhat unsettling announcement, that's still not where we are headed. But this could have been handled differently. A delay with an actual date or at least a window. Sony just said days ago that Marathon would be out in fiscal year 2025, meaning before March 2026. But Bungie isn't even saying that here, only that a new date will be announced this fall. They could have done some sort of early access launch with a 1.0 further in the future, but that's not happening either. The main question is what exactly is going to change over this delay period? That is, of course, tough to answer without knowing the length of the delay, but given that there's not even a window, Bungie's certainly not going to be pushing it just a month or two. They do not mention adding more maps and heroes for launch, that they were perhaps launching in a later season, attempting to get more value pumped into its $40 asking price. There is nothing about potentially changing the model to free to play, though I suppose that's not impossible. They talk about adding proximity chat and having a quote unquote better experience for solos and duos, but not confirming actual playlists for those kinds of players will exist. There are a lot of general things like increased visual fidelity and making combat more tense and strategic. They also say that there will be a darker tone like the original game. However, that may manifest. But as ever, the fundamental sell of the game, an extraction shooter with traditional permanent loot loss while simultaneously using a class based hero system somewhat antithetical to the genre, is not going to change. That package has already been extracted and there's no going back. No adding PvE, no switching to custom characters. It can't happen. This is dire. Sony made a big deal of Marathon being the centerpiece of its near term live service plans alongside Fair Games, an alleged 2026 game that is almost certainly going to get canceled. Marathon did need to be delayed, and that seemed clear. But the questions are A, will the delay actually change the game and or public narrative enough to matter? And B, why announce an open-ended delay at a time when players want far more concrete information? The good news here is that Bungie will have more time to quote unquote cook, but the open-endedness of this reinforces the game is in peril. Bungie has confirmed there will be additional playtests going forward, so it's not like we'll see nothing from the game for months and months. Previously, I was told the plan was big, um, a big open beta in August, a month before launch. And now that will be a series of more closed tests with no dates given here. There was also word of the marketing campaign was going back to square one, as we're supposed to be seeing a big new trailer soon to launch pre orders, but going dark is certainly going to mean zero marketing as well here for an indefinite period. I've been frank in my assessment that I do not think Marathon has a chance to succeed any longer. You can read my grand breakdown of that I wrote last month. And though I think a delay is mandatory, I do not believe it can accomplish what it needs to. And there are too many issues to core to this game that cannot be altered now. Bungie says we will not hear anything significant from them until later this fall, which includes a new release date, probably. I think this
Woof.
game's getting canceled.
Dude, I mean, I think I agree with Tassie's assessment that like I think it's literally too late for them to go back. I if they make this game free to play to try to keep players on, they're just gonna monetize the fuck out of it as a result.
Yeah, I mean they have to, right?
And so I think they're probably going to keep their $40 asking price and price tag. If I'm being real, I think that's still something they're probably going to stick to their guns about. Uh, but I just think there's just too many things about this game that, like, first, like it just doomed it to fail. Like they've broken away too hard from what the original game was. Like it's literally just marathon in name only, essentially. Like it has almost nothing to do with the original title, from what I understand.
No, nothing. I mean, Halo had more to do with the original title, and all they did in Halo was put the marathon symbol in a few of the maps. and an emblem that you could put on your Spartans, you know? No, I think this game is absolutely doomed. Like 100%. I'm in bed with Tassie
It's being
on this.
crafted into a genre that frankly nobody is clamoring or asking for. Like I don't fucking like I don't know, extraction shooters aren't it. They're never gonna be it. They're not gonna be
Yeah.
it. They're not it. Like they will never be. Extraction shooters are just so anti fucking casual gamer fundamentally by genre design that like you are limiting the people that are going to play this game. Hero shooters is like oversaturated and a lot of people play those fucking games. That's why that was one of the reasons Concord flopped. But like extraction shoot PvP extraction shooters, that's just bullshit nobody asks for. Like I am not in any forum in any capacity anywhere online being like I need a new extraction shooter to scratch my itch, because everybody that plays those games still literally just fucking plays Tarkov or still just fucking plays Hunt Showdown. That's it. Those are your two games, man. Like they have established themselves as what this genre is, and everybody that has tried to dip their toe into an extraction shooter or an extraction based gameplay, it's fucking flopped, dude. Real bad.
I do think Arc Raiders has a chance though, because it's different.
See, but Arc Raiders actually looked at what the other two really successful games have, which is some fucking world building and some actual shit to make you give a shit about why you're playing.
They
which
have a story.
Every other extraction shooter, like there's world building and story. Even if it's story light, that stuff still exists in game. And like these others just aren't doing that. There's not much going like a perfect example, and this is even one that wasn't PvP, right? Rainbow Six Extraction, PvE extraction shooter. Dude, that shit was dead in 3 months.
I didn't even like that game.
Like they're like I did, but I can understand why you didn't and why that game didn't survive as a result, right? Like its servers are still online, sure. It didn't get shut down, sure. But like there's nobody playing it. I can guarantee you that.
Sorry, the dog was scratching at the door, so I had to let the boy in.
So, like, dude, like Marathon's done. Like, it's fucking DOA, man. They are gonna release this game because they fucking have to. I feel like they are fiscally obligated to release this game. Sony needs to make back at least some of what was spent on this title, even if it absolutely flops at every other fucking facet, which is why this game won't get canceled. But like going back to Paul's two questions, right? Will the delay actually change the game and or the public narrative enough to matter? Fuck no, dude. I guarantee you, like the only thing that would even cause me to look in the direction of this game at all would be a complete rework with full PvE inclusion. That would be the only thing that would even turn my head in the direction of this game. As far as their public narrative, nope. That was like Bungie's shooting themselves in the foot over and over again with their public image. Like this game just being attached to Bungie was already a loss. The fact that like it now has plagiarism, which obviously is going to be reworked, be like they're going to, or like either or they're going to be paying anti-real, hopefully a large sum.
I think they're going to be paying her a large sum regardless.
And I expect a royalty deals too, like
Yeah.
for anti-real, like on each copy sold. You fucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a lump sum payout for the work already stolen, and because you're continually using their work in each copy sold, they should get royalties.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I have a question for you. I looked up Hunt Showdown concurrent players, and I looked up Rainbow Six Extraction concurrent players. I want you to guess how many players are right now in Hunt Showdown, and just like give me a number and give me a 24-hour peak as well. Just take a guess.
For Hunt Showdown?
Yeah.
And this is including Steam, not just other consoles.
Yeah, this is just on Steam.
This is still a slice of the pie, folks.
Yeah.
We understand it's not all player bases, but it's still a good indication of the health of the game. Especially because PC people just play more people have PCs than consoles. Sorry. For Hunt Showdown, I'm gonna say that 3,000 concurrent players. Peak in the last 24 is like 4.8.
Right now, 6,274 players.
Oh,
peak in the last 24 hours was 15,444.
Wow.
And
okay, so
all-time peak in the last 10 months was 60,000.
See, now I know there's going to be somebody out there that's going to be like, dead game. No, strong game with established core player base that continually plays and spends money on said game. That is what makes a game live. Not everybody that buys that shit day one. It's those 6,000 people that log on every day and those other 6,000 that at least play a few games every weekend that keep games like this alive. Now, on the flip side, Rainbow Six Extraction, dude.
Yep. Okay. All right. Now I want you to guess right now and 24-hour peak.
Right now there is 120 people on. 24-hour peak is like 300, maybe 600 in the last 10 months.
Dude, this is embarrassing. Players right now. 37. 24-hour peak.
100.
101. Now their all-time peak is being based off of 2 years ago.
Damn. Which is 12K.
2,338.
Yeah, man. yeah, man. And make no mistake, I understand there was more people than that playing at launch because it is crossplay and it was on every platform available. But like, dude, that means that means every single one of those motherfuckers is playing with each other or solo.
I want this to be known. That legitimately means that Ubisoft is losing money keeping those servers
just keeping those servers up.
Off of this game. Like, this game is not netting. This game is in the red 100%.
Like, it's 100%, but they do keep it alive. And honestly, I think that's what's going to end up happening with Marathon. I think they are literally just going to end up, they're going to release it and they're going to keep it. They're going to put that shit on life support like after a year and just try to milk it for as long as they possibly fucking can.
Yeah.
Because this game's cooked.
Oh, 100%. And like the reason why I went through that is because I wanted people to know what a player base is on Steam for
Yeah,
a
and that's for
extraction
like
shooter.
bottom of the barrel worst PvE extraction shooter nobody is playing
Yeah.
to one of the most popular in the genre. Real quick before we move on, pull up Tarkov because that's Tarkov is the king of
So
the genre.
so Tarkov does not have a Steam chart because it is not on Steam, actually. Tarkov, it runs its own launcher.
Oh,
So
well then there you have it.
yeah.
Do they have metrics? Are there metrics
I'm gonna
available?
look that up. I'm gonna see if I can find that here concurrent. I did look up Arc Raiders concurrent players. I
For the
know they
beta?
for the beta test. They had 21,500 for the beta
See, and that's not
on
a
Steam.
lot. Like that's still not a ton of players, right? Like that's a
So
healthy amount of players, but like that's not buku bucks players. Like it's just not.
right now, um, so they Tarkov has 21,000 people playing right now. And but
See, and that's the cream of the crop for this genre, folks.
but
You're not making any money on this shit, hand over fist. You're just
but
not. You're
let me
not.
put this. They have they have daily players. They have over 232,000 different daily players
Like
play.
unique logins. Yeah.
Yep. And monthly they have 1.2 million unique logins
Yeah. Right. That's what the peak of
monthly.
this genre looks like.
Yeah.
Right. Like there are still lots of other genres that dwarf it, even on the lowest end. Like it's just a niche genre that gates players accessing it by nature. Like, and especially when people already had like divisive uh like issues with the PvE PvP balance of Destiny, this being a straight PvP extraction shooter was never going to net Bungie a win. Period. It being indefinitely delayed uh does not shock anybody. Like I think we all expected this. It needed to happen, but echoing Paul, uh it's not a good sign that they just slapped no release date or even a window on it. That this fall we're going to find out what's going to happen with this game, and
Yeah.
if we should even continue to give a shit.
I mean, I
So
stopped
with that
giving a
being said,
shit when I saw the game. If I'm gonna
that's
be
fair enough.
honest with you, um,
That's fair
like
enough.
before we move on, I feel like the only way this game survives is if they can transition it into a Destiny like experience
They have
where
to.
it
It
has
needs a
PV.
transferable player base, and
Yep,
right now it doesn't from their other game.
yep, and it
People will
needs
not move from Destiny to Marathon. It's not a
yeah
transferable game.
it so like they need to have a PvE experience. They should have a matchmake experience, your classic TDM, and it should also have your PvPvE experience where that could be your extraction mode, you know, but I don't think this game survives just solely on the one thing. Like it can't be
No.
a one trick pony. Not this day and age, not this type of game. Even Call of Duty has multiple different ways to play the game, you know. And I'm
Nope.
not sticking up for Call of Duty, but that
No,
they do.
you either have to have one of two things to be successful in a live service arena at launch these days. An insanely unique concept or a plethora of content.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if you don't have one, the other, or preferably both, you're not going to last long. Even
Mhm.
Firebreak, which just released, is catching flack for having a lack of content in a Left 4 Dead style genre game, where there's plenty of horde shooters out there, right? Like that is
Mhm.
like a critique to this game that even that game is receiving, right? So you got to be prepared to either release a really unique game or at least give us a game where we're going to have lots of reason to continue playing it for any sort of
Mhm.
real amount of time.
My
Uh,
download just finished on that, by the way.
hell yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I understand some of the critiques that people are saying. I think you'll like it all in all, but it's a little novel. You'll see what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're gonna move into our next segment real quick before we get into our meat and taters conversation here. This will just be a real quickie. But Devin, what is this next segment?
we're gonna get into our small little news segment called Little Bytes.
Little bit. Yep. We're just gonna blast through just a couple of bullet points of some worthy news that you all at home might want to be aware of. Starting with the standard edition for Borderlands 4 has been confirmed to be $70, folks. It will not be $80. But hey, if you're Randy Pitchford, everybody he said if you were a real fan, you would have bought it at $80 anyways. The sour note to that $70 price tag, however, is that the Super Deluxe Edition will still be 130 fucking bucks.
I will not.
Which is actually even $10 more than the bullshit that Ubisoft was doing, which is impressive. Wow, somehow greedier than Ubisoft. Crazy.
I never buy the deluxe editions anymore because here's the way I
don't trust their DLC quality.
Yep. I will say, $10 higher than I wanted 2K and Gearbox to do. Because I don't know if you remember, I pointed it out. I was like, how cool would it be if they actually just made it $60? You know what I mean?
I love Borderlands, but it's hard to justify whether or not it is a $70 franchise for me as a player. I am a little bit on the fence about that.
Unfortunately, I will probably spend $70 on it because when Borderlands
I'm leaning
3,
towards I will play it rather than not play it, but I'm definitely not spending $130.
I always forget how much of a fan of Borderlands gameplay specifically I am until a new game comes out in the main line, because when Borderlands 3 came out, I beat that game in less than 48 hours with my cousin.
Oh, dude, me too. I no-lifed that shit. 100%ed it every side quest.
I didn't sleep. Like we stayed up. Like we probably took like a couple like 2-hour naps, but we essentially stayed up like all night and we just played the game start to finish together. Yeah, it was fun.
Next, owner creator of the one and only super duper popular modding website Nexus Mods, Dark One, has sold the site after 24 years. This is not a corporate handover, though, folks. He did make an announcement. He is still going to be haunting the forums and will be around on Nexus Mods. He just basically said he said, I started this shit 24 years ago in my basement with the 56K modem and zero ambitions for what it ended up being. He said he should have stepped back a long time ago, and that just running this massive site has caused him a lot of stress and anxiety and worries for his health. So he's stepping away, and a lot of familiar faces, they're already a part of the Nexus Mods team, have just taken ownership of the site from him full time. Nexus Mods was never a one-man show in its current form anyways. It's a 40-man team. They said nothing or very, very little will change on the consumer-facing side of Nexus Mods, but just something to be aware of.
I love Nexus Mods, man, especially as an RPG player, you know, who loves like Fallout and Elder Scrolls games, and I've shown Garrick like what I've turned the games into just by like searching through their mod lists and stuff and finding what I want to work with. I made Fallout 4 look damn near like Fallout 6. You know.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I'm getting the itch to play Fallout again. I think we really do need to play some 76. I really am.
Might have to.
I really am. We got to go fishing, dude. We got to go fishing.
Yep, got to go fishing.
Yeah.
Games always get better when you add fishing. Ubisoft says and has reconfirmed, they swear it's true, the Sands of Time Prince of Persia remake is still on track for its 2026 release date, despite the fact that we've heard nothing about it, that there's a lot of skeptics out there, myself included.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
But they say it's happening. So if that's something that you're excited for and you still think and you were wondering, hey, that is supposedly still coming on time in 2026 when it for its window. We'll see if we get anything about that at the end of the year, but I won't hold my breath. And last but not least, just kind of like a public service announcement, because I'm just like, oh, you know, some of y'all fucked around, and unfortunately, you have found it out. Nintendo is already banning hackers who are testing tampering techniques with the Switch 2, blocking access to online features such as the store and online gameplay remotely. They can detect your tampering, folks. They said this was shit that they were going to do. You agreed to it when you logged into the console. They're not fucking around. If you fuck with your Switch 2, they are going to fucking brick your Switch 2. Like, it's just happening, folks. You're still going to be able to play, but like the thing is like you're like, oh, I just won't be able to play online. No, you won't be able to do jack fucking shit because cartridges need online Wi-Fi access to the e-store to read the cartridge license on a Switch 2 to download your game. So if you don't have online access because you fucked with your shit, because you wanted to be super big dick swinging cool guy, access to the single player games months before they get released, well, this is you made your bed. Sorry. Like they said they were gonna ban y'all. They're banning y'all.
Yeah,
Like I don't agree with it. You physically bought a product. I believe you should be allowed to modify it as you see fit. But Nintendo did say that, hey, we were gonna do this.
yeah,
And I was never gonna test them because Nintendo follows through with all their fucking threats.
yeah. I'll be honest, I'm a bit disappointed that they're like, so essentially when you agree to the end user license agreement, it is a license to have the console,
To operate
unfortunately,
your Switch.
which really sucks because I do want I do want a Switch 2. Like, full disclosure, the games aren't there yet, so I don't see the need to buy it. Although
I'll get one
the
in like a year, maybe two.
yeah, I'll probably buy one next year. You know what I mean? That'll probably be, well, it depends how much the Xbox Ally X is. Like, I'll be real. That's probably
For
going
real,
to
for
be
real.
like my
Priority for
myself.
sure.
That's probably going to be my self Christmas present. You know, that and Line 6 just announced a new Helix, and I'm kind of looking at that too. But it's really disappointing with how they're handling it. I think $450 for the console, like, wholeheartedly, is actually a fair price. Personally, I really do. I'm not arguing that. 400 would have been the sweet spot
No,
in my opinion.
it's competitive
Yeah, and
in
especially
the market.
for something that you can dock and take on the go, I think that's very, very good, because like I still play my original Switch to this day. There's a lot of
Mhm.
value in having that, but the I don't like the way that they can control your console right now. And I'm interested because you did have to set up a new in license agreement with the new the new console. I mean, I'm wondering, with the most recent update that they did to the original Switch, if that might apply moving forward on the original Switch too,
Who
because
knows? I guess the one way
allegedly,
would be to find out is if you were asked, have you, since the launch of the Switch 2, have you been asked to update your user agreement for the original console?
I need to look into that, because I think you have. Because allegedly, if I get a Switch 2, I might do stuff to that console.
On the
Allegedly.
original,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Allegedly. You know.
Mhm.
Just because it is my piece of hardware. I've had it for
You own it.
7
You
years.
can do
I've
whatever
had
the fuck you want physically.
Yeah.
You bought it with
Yeah.
money you earned,
I have a
and
Gen
that's like
1 fucking console. I should be able to do shit
yeah.
to it.
So I'm just saying, but like I don't agree. I don't agree with Nintendo, but they did warn y'all that they were
Yeah.
going to be doing that shit.
Yeah.
So just be aware. Don't tamper with your Switch 2, guys. Or at the fucking very least, don't be the one to test this shit out. Wait till somebody else figures that shit out. Let somebody else spend their fucking money.
Yeah. Because
Uh,
somebody will. Somebody will.
yeah,
That's the
somebody
thing.
will figure a way around. Inevitably, there will be a crack for the Switch 2. But like, don't be the guy spending $500 to test a piece of hardware. That ain't it. Not in this economy. But we're going to be moving along right along to our final conversation of the evening. Devin, what's that? What's that going to be?
Yeah, so the final conversation of the evening is the most important conversation of all time. It is the pinnacle of cinema as well. The absolute pinnacle, because we are moving in to the end game.
End game. Yep. We're in the end game now, baby. It's our final segment of the recording of the evening, of the session, of the whenever you're listening and what time of day it might be. This is our headlining segment, guys. We're covering a broader topic. And you might not have heard of it before it released, but everybody started immediately shitting on it after it did. Because MindsEye is out, everybody, and it is crashing, and it is burning, and then it's exploding, and the pieces are burning, and it is officially, uh, equivocally, without debate, the worst rated game of 2025 at this point. So we're going to be discussing the critical failure of Mind's Eye. In case you didn't know what this game is, Mind's Eye was a highly anticipated action adventure sci-fi game from former Rockstar president Leslie Benzies, uh, under their new studio, Build a Rocket Boy, and published by IO Interactive. They've been around the block. And like I said, this is currently the worst rated game of 2025. This was fairly highly anticipated. We got some pretty questionable trailers as the game released. The final trailer looked quite a lot better. But there was just a lot about this game that it wasn't what it said it was. You might think that given Leslie Benzies' track record, that this would have been an open world GTA like experience, because they are, very famously known for doing GTA 2 through 5, and crafting those games. They're like pivotal in crafting GTA 2 through 5. But nope, this is a pretty linear experience that looks and plays like the worst PlayStation 3 game you've ever, unfortunately, had the privilege to get your hands on. I've seen some clips of this game, and it just wasn't ready to release. Man, it just like this was just not a finished product. Like you can't interact with a lot of the world. The game just feels very stiff. The gunplay looks really bad. I've seen some clips where like there's this giant behemoth like crawler mech fucking thing, and you literally stand in front of it and like you clip onto it, and then it just pushes you, and you clip through the fucking ground while it pushes you because it doesn't kill you or have any sort of interaction with the world. Oh, and then eventually you just clip fucking through the goddamn thing, and then it just keeps going because the game software, or because like the fucking coding can't handle you being pushed along that track. It's broken. It's a fundamentally broken game. Like like it just doesn't look. Oh man, like I don't. God damn, Devin. Like yeah, I even have a hard time pitching the argument that like, oh, maybe there's a reason these were former Rockstar devs, but they weren't. Leslie left over a royalties issue,
Yep.
right? They have experience. There's no excuse for this. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's really disheartening, dude. And like with IO Interactive too, like we're just seeing another bad game release, right? That there was just no check. It just got put out, and we don't even have. Do we even have a promise that it's gonna get better? Like, do we? Is there anything like that out there? Because like the way I'm looking at it now is that I don't. I think this game is just gonna crash and burn, just like Concord did. 100%. Like just from
Dude,
my.
I don't even. It doesn't even have the opportunity to get shut down, brother. Like it's just gonna fucking go quietly into the night. Like it's been released. It's already bad. Like I really doubt this gets the Cyberpunk punk fix me treatment. Like I don't think it's gonna happen. Like CD Projekt Red fucking developed and published their own fucking game, and notably said that, hey, we're just gonna eat the fucking cost because we want this game to be what we envisioned. Like they said that they were losing money on when that game launched. They had to completely rebuild it and spend money on dev hours, like hundreds of new dev hours to make it the final amazing product that it is. And this is a brand new studio. This is their first fucking game.
Yeah, straight up, IO Interactive is gonna have to fucking recover and make sure James Bond is really good. Like that's
Yeah.
just what's gonna have to happen.
Like it's just gonna have to. And like and the thing is like I really do want the James Bond game to be awesome and successful, but I am a firm believer that even the Hitman games are kind of
Yeah.
like they're not like I feel like even the best Hitman game is like the softest set, like 8 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10, like
Mhm.
7.5s are usually all around. Like they're not super polished titles, and like this just feels like was there no oversight? Like did IO just be like, we trust you, you guys have been around the block, you're not gonna shit everywhere all over this game? Like, did IO Interactive just give them too much leeway and like in too much room to operate independently?
I think so. I think so. Unfortunately. Um, I think there was just a huge oversight with it.
Or lack of oversight?
Yeah, yeah. It's really disappointing, man. It's really disappointing to see releases like this come out time and time again. I feel like these last couple, I'd say 2 to 3 years, it's been very prevalent, you know. And a
Dude,
constant
do you
thing
know that they also think that like the reviews for this game
or
are
bought and paid.
is
Yeah.
yeah, they think it's a systematic target to try to like fail their studio. I'm literally looking on Twitter right now, just kind of lurking, and there's literally like bot comment posts that are saying positive things about this game
Hmm.
on people's like fucking socials.
Yeah, it the
Like
from
it's getting compared to like people are comparing it to fucking 2011 games. I mean like look, this is 2011's LA Noir. Look how much better it is than fucking MindsEye.
dude, yeah, LA Noir, I actually like that game a lot.
No, it's a great game, but like the fucking point is that game is goddamn fucking what 14 years old.
Yeah. I bet you it looks better on the Switch than it does.
But man, it's just like I'm not even seeing like I've not seen a single good thing about this game. I saw such immediate shit talk on this title that like the day after it launched, I saw a clip on TikTok that said I played 12 hours so you don't have to, and just showed the end cutscene. And I was just like, that's fucked up. That's really spoilery and fucked up. But like uh it's this game's gonna end up being studied because you want to know what's fucked up? It hit the sales chart.
Well, yeah, because it was anticipated. It had a cool trailer. Like the idea of it was cool. You were supposed to
Right,
be able
we
to.
thought we were going to be getting another cyberpunk like game. We were just like, oh yeah, like this is going to scratch that cyberpunk RPG itch until we get whatever CD Projekt Red is ready for next. No,
Nope, not at all.
not at all.
Which really sucks. But it is what it is,
But dude,
dude.
why does this? Why are we repeating this cycle though? Like, what do you think really is like the root cause of games getting released in this state? Because like this is not the first time a game has released fundamentally broken. Like just look at Redfall a couple of years ago. Like that was a fucking huge fumble for Xbox. Man, really big fumble. And
Yep.
like and Arcane started working on it and they tried to turn it around and they did improve the game ultimately from its launch state, but the fucking studio still got like their doors still got closed and they still never got to finish their vision, and this was an older studio that had released good games that was already established. This is a brand new studio with no previous with no previous experience other than their legacy games, which don't really do a lot of credit for them under a new banner name. right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't be like, well, my other game was successful. I was like, yeah, but that was made under a different team with a different development team, all that fun shit, right? Like, I'm talking about Build a Rocket Boy. Is it already at risk?
Yeah.
Like they are a very real. There's a very real chance that this studio never makes a second game.
There's a very real chance the studio just disappears like entirely. So, yeah, that's I, yeah, dude, they fumbled the bag really bad, really bad.
Yeah.
And
And like, get to release most highly anticipated games like this, and then fucking cry conspiracy when you release a shoddy product and really they have the audacity to be like, people are out to get us. No. You just release some shit. You just
yeah,
release some
you
fucking
just
boo-boo.
released a
Like, you
terrible
released a
game.
bad unfinished product, and like, and not only did you release a bad unfinished product, you released a bad unfinished product to one of the most jaded, volatile, and pessimistic consumer bases known to man. And you thought they were going to be okay with it? No. We're like, we as gamers are constantly like, not me as a gamer, like gamers, like as a community, like, are
Mm-hmm.
not positive folks. Like, they look for the worst in your title. Like, they are like, people do not look for games to be successful. Like, the people that say the happy shit in the comments are going to be the people that like already are happy with it being like a 6.5 title and just playing with it anyways. Everybody else is like, no, I fucking paid for a good time and I'm not having a good fucking time. I want my money back. Speaking of wanting their money back, Sony is going against their own terms of service currently and issuing refunds for this game, which they've only ever done one time in modern history during the launch of Cyberpunk on PlayStation 4. And that game got fucking delisted for 6 months.
Which is
I'm pretty sure it was
crazy.
longer than that. I'm pretty sure it got delisted for like almost 9 months to a year. It was not on PlayStation 4 for a minute.
Yeah, for a very long time until the game could be actually played. I do remember that happening, and I don't know if that happened on Xbox though. I don't think it
I
did.
don't think it got uh delisted
Yeah.
on Xbox.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're living in unprecedented times where games just get released without a good check. What? Do you remember when it was
Okay.
important
So
for
June
wait,
21st, 2021, when if initially released, is
mhm,
for Cyberpunk. December 2020, uh or it was relisted, excuse me, it was relisted in June 2021 after the initial removal in December of 2020.
okay. Do you remember how important it was for games to announce that they've gone gold? Like they've gone through the process of going gold. I feel like
Dude,
I feel like the ESRB isn't doing their job and making sure that things are going gold. You know what I'm saying?
you want to know what's wild though? Is I've seen games go gold. It doesn't happen very often anymore, but I know there was a couple of titles that I actually remember physically seeing the tweet. They're like, "This game has gone gold," and then it got released, and I was just like, "What?" Uh, Return to Moria comes to mind immediately because like they're just like, Return to Moria has gone gold. It's coming out," and then it came out, and I played it, and I was just like, "Guys, I
Mhm.
love Lord of the Rings, and I even ultimately ended up loving and finishing that game, completing rolling credits on that game. But like
Yeah.
at launch, I was just like, y'all, this ain't gold. This is like fucking silver at best.
Yeah. It's
Like
really disappointing.
the standard of rating what is a finished product has significantly gone down in the interest of appeasing and recouping investors.
Yeah. I dislike it like a lot. I'm just hoping that games that I'm looking forward to don't have these same kind of issues. I'm hoping that the gaming industry can stabilize whether it be the cost of tech, the cost of games, the playability of a game. We see a lot of negative things happening all at the same time. And, I'd like to see the lack of plagiarism as well. Just harkening back to another story we were talking about
Just like
earlier.
it feels like the industry as a whole has really gotten lax on its checks and balances for quality assurance on a product.
Yeah.
Like
One.
in every facet, like from marketing to asset use to fucking like, just gameplay, like cohesiveness,
Mm-hmm.
bugs, fucking crash reports, like test your games, folks. Like just be more thorough. Like we as gamers already have thousands of titles at our fingertips literally at any fucking given moment of the day. I would rather wait an extra 6 months or even a year. Fuck, I'd wait 2 years. I'm not gonna fucking wait however long, whatever the fuck GTA 6 is doing. Sorry guys, y'all shit the bed on that one. That's too much to wait. But
Yeah.
like I will wait a good 2 years, like after an announcement, like if they'd be like, hey, we decided we just really need some more time to make a quality product because we want you as the gamers to be happy. Right. If that means that like they gotta refund some pre-orders because people don't want to wait, so be it. You run that risk as a business, right? If your game wasn't ready for pre-order and you put it up for pre-order, you're like you have like a business etiquette to give that money back to players until your product is ready to launch within a reasonable amount
Mm-hmm.
of time. Like I'll pre-order a game 6 months, maybe a year in advance if I know like nothing's gonna change. But like, depending on this, barring the studio that's releasing it and like their release habits, right? Like I really pay attention to who is coming out with the game just as much as what kind of game is coming out. And because that's gonna tell me a lot about how that release is gonna go. And if Build a Rocket Boy ever gets the chance to release a second game, I think everybody's going to be insanely skeptical. Um, I firm this is a high likelihood of this studio just getting shut down. High
Yeah.
likelihood.
And I think that's where we can leave it off there. Especially if we get any more updates about this, we'll definitely you guys will be the first to know
Yeah, like
from us.
if we get like a MindsEye 2.0 scenario, like we'll let you guys know. Or if
Mm-hmm.
like the studio does end up closing doors, like we'll circle back around to this piece of news. But
Mm-hmm.
like I think it's more than it's beyond past time for the industry to acknowledge that like we're releasing shoddy products that just don't run. And like it's a pretty low bar when people are just getting excited about being able to launch your title without it fucking crashing. That's not great. It's
Yeah.
not great. And that's where the industry is right now. Everyone's just like, "Oh, game runs smooth, 8 out of 10," and you're just like, "That's a fucked up standard." Like being able to launch and play a game as it was intended is a real low bar, and we have to do better. Let MindsEye and the games before it continue to be glowing non-examples of how to release your game.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just got to do better as an industry. Like I'm fucking sorry, Build a Rocket Boy, that like nobody's out to get you. You got you by releasing a poo poo product. But please let us know what you guys think of Build a Rocket Boy's first game, MindsEye. Did you guys have any fun with it? Did you beat it? Are you ever going to play this game? Like, did you even know this game existed before its critical failure? Let us know in the comment section below because this has been Good Kraken's Death Ratio, your source
Soyce.
source, source,
Soyce.
source for all of the nerdy video game news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear each and every week. If you've liked what you've heard, you can head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/CoodKrakenPods, where you can get exclusive content, discounts on merchandise, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services, wherever you like to watch or listen. You can, as always, help us level up our game by joining the GK community on our Discord channel by clicking the link in our description section below, then subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a review there. We have to go, everyone. But until next time, great.